a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster. Trump declares war on Antifa. In Charlie Kirk's name, he vows to dismantle a movement without a structure, a ghost in the system. But how do you fight what has no headquarters, no leaders, and no membership? The answer may shock you. President Donald Trump made good on a long-standing threat early on September 17th, announcing that he is designating Antifa as a major terrorist organization. The declaration came just days after the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University, sending shockwaves through an already fractured American political system.
I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa, a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster, as a major terrorist organization. I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices.
The timing is no coincidence. Kirk's murder on September 10th has become a rallying cry for Trump's administration, with officials vowing to dismantle what they call a vast domestic terror movement.
With God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks. We will do it in Charlie's name.
Republican Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana praised Trump's move, stating,
Antifa seized upon a movement of legitimate grievances to promote violence and anarchy, working against justice for all. The president is right to recognize the destructive role of Antifa by designating them domestic terrorists.
Cassidy and Texas Senator Ted Cruz had previously introduced a 2019 Senate resolution to condemn Antifa's violent acts and designate the group as a domestic terror organization. But Trump's declaration raises fundamental questions about what exactly he's targeting. A White House official told CNN that
this is just one of many actions the president will take to address left-wing organizations that fuel political violence.
Yet the reality of what Antifa actually is makes Trump's bold proclamation legally and practically problematic. Understanding Trump's Antifa designation requires grasping a central paradox. How do you designate a terrorist organization when no actual organization exists? Antifa, short for anti-fascist, represents what experts describe as a decentralized network of activists united primarily by opposition to fascism, racism, and far-right ideologies. There's no headquarters, no official leadership, no membership roles, and no centralized command structure. Former FBI Director Christopher Wray, who served under Trump during his first term, made this point crystal clear in 2020 testimony, stating that
Antifa is an ideology, not an organization, lacking the hierarchical structure that would usually allow it to be designated as a terror group by the federal government. We have seen folks who subscribe or identify with the Antifa movement, who coalesce regionally into small groups or nodes, and they are certainly organized at that level.
this fundamental structural reality hasn't changed, making Trump's current effort potentially more symbolic than substantive. The movement's roots stretch back to anti-fascist resistance movements in Nazi Germany and fascist Italy before World War II. In America, Antifa activism emerged from anti-racist mobilization in the 1980s against racist skinheads, the Ku Klux Klan, and neo-Nazis. Modern Antifa gained national prominence following the violent 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where they served as counter-protesters against white supremacists. Their tactics range from online research and community organizing to more confrontational approaches. Common activities include what they call doxing, publicly identifying far-right organizers, organizing counter-protests at far-right events, and sometimes engaging in physical altercations. Members typically dress in black clothing with face coverings, both for identification within their movement and protection from opposing groups. The statistical reality challenges Trump's characterization of Antifa as a major threat. Data from 1994 to 2020 reveals that left-wing extremists, including those associated with Antifa, accounted for approximately 25% of domestic terrorist incidents compared to 57% attributed to right-wing extremists. When examining fatalities, the disparity becomes even starker. Left-wing terrorism resulted in 22 deaths during this period, while right-wing extremism caused 335 fatalities. These numbers suggest that while Antifa has engaged in some violent confrontations, their role in domestic terrorism remains statistically limited compared to other threats. Trump's Antifa designation creates a constitutional minefield that legal experts warn could fundamentally reshape how America handles political dissent. The president's announcement immediately drew criticism from those who see it as a pretext for broader political persecution. CNN's David Axelrod warned that the designation could serve as a pretext to go after their political enemies.
They will go after everyone and everything that they put under that umbrella, even though it isn't an organization.
The legal challenges are substantial. Unlike foreign terrorist organizations, which the government can formally designate under established federal law, no equivalent mechanism exists for domestic groups. As a 2023 Congressional Research Service report explains,
The U.S. government does not provide a precise, comprehensive, and public explanation of any particular groups it might consider to be domestic terrorist organizations. Listing groups in this way may infringe on First Amendment-protected free speech or the act of belonging to an ideological group, which in and of itself is not a crime in the United States.
Mary McCord, a former senior Department of Justice official, previously told Al Jazeera that
Trump's attempts would raise significant First Amendment concerns.
these constitutional protections remain unchanged, suggesting Trump's current effort faces the same legal obstacles that stymied his first-term attempts. The practical enforcement questions are equally complex. How does law enforcement target a movement without clear membership? Which specific individuals or groups would face investigation? Trump has indicated he wants to pursue RICO charges against those funding left-wing groups, telling reporters he discussed with Attorney General Pam Bondi bringing racketeering cases. However, the designation's ultimate impact remains unclear. Unlike foreign terrorist organization designations, which carry specific legal consequences including asset freezing and material support prosecutions, domestic terror designations lack equivalent enforcement mechanisms. This gap between Trump's dramatic announcement and actual legal authority suggests the move may serve more as political messaging than operational counterterrorism policy.